What if I told you the US dollar could lose its status as the world's most powerful currency? No, this isn't some far-fetched economic conspiracy, this is a real possibility that's already unfolding. The dollar has ruled global finance for nearly a century, but cracks are forming. What happens if it falls? And more importantly, who takes its place? Welcome to today's deep dive into one of the most crucial financial questions of our time. Is the US dollar on the verge of losing its global dominance? If you want to stay ahead of the game on world events, finance, and geopolitics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with the facts. The US dollar has been the undisputed king of international trade and finance for decades. But did you know that as of 2024, the dollar's share of global foreign exchange reserves has dropped to its lowest level since 1995? According to the International Monetary Fund, central banks around the world are holding fewer dollars and increasing their reserves in other assets, like gold and alternative currencies. This is happening for a reason. So, what's driving this decline? There are three major factors: geopolitical instability, economic shifts, and the rise of digital and alternative payment systems. The US has used the dollar as a geopolitical weapon, leveraging sanctions to pressure countries into compliance. But this strategy is backfiring. Nations like Russia, China, and even Saudi Arabia are seeking ways to trade outside the dollar system to avoid dependence on the US financial network. Take Russia, for example. After being cut off from the SWIFT banking system in response to its war in Ukraine, Moscow pivoted to trade in Chinese yuan and gold. In fact, China and Russia now conduct more than 80% of their bilateral trade in their own currencies, bypassing the dollar entirely. That's a tectonic shift in global finance. Now, if the dollar is slipping, who's waiting in the wings to take its place? The obvious answer is China's yuan, but there's a catch. The yuan still only accounts for about 2.4% of global reserves. Why? Because China keeps strict controls over its currency, limiting its free use in global markets. The euro, on the other hand, makes up about 20% of reserves, but it lacks the same economic and military backing as the US dollar. A more surprising challenger? The BRICS alliance, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is actively discussing a new currency for trade between member states. While this won't replace the dollar overnight, it signals a growing shift away from dollar dependence. One of the biggest threats to dollar dominance isn't coming from another country, it's coming from technology itself. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum have already challenged traditional financial systems, but the real game changer could be government-backed digital currencies, known as CBDCs. China has already launched its digital yuan, and the European Central Bank is working on a digital euro. Even the US is considering a digital dollar, but other nations might beat it to the punch. If major economies start using digital currencies for international trade, the need for the US dollar could decline even faster. So, what happens if the dollar loses its dominance? The answer isn't as simple as a total collapse, it's more likely a gradual transition. Scenario 1, the dollar remains the dominant currency but loses market share to regional alternatives like the yuan and the euro. Scenario 2, a multipolar currency world emerges, where no single currency dominates, and trade is conducted in multiple regional currencies. Scenario 3, a new digital financial system reshapes global trade, making reserve currencies less important than digital assets and central bank digital currencies. Here's the truth, while the US dollar is weakening in some areas, it's not disappearing anytime soon. The US economy is still the largest in the world, and the dollar is deeply embedded in global finance. However, the trend is clear, the world is slowly moving toward a future where the dollar is no longer the undisputed king. What do you think? Will the US dollar maintain its dominance, or are we entering a new financial era? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. Stay curious, stay informed.